Preparing live stream. The host has started broadcasting the meeting on YouTube window.
It literally like triples in volume as soon as I hit go live. I don't know why it does that. So welcome in if you're joining me live. If you are watching the replay, hi, welcome. I'm Sarah from Divinely Thank you so much for tuning in and all of the things. And are y'all feeling this energy? This energy is crazy. Let's talk about the astrology and some things about like some stuff about how these transits work. So this is probably, well, there's a couple of reasons why I like studying astrology. One is my own self-acceptance, but more collectively speaking, astrology works in cycles or in waves. And so transits occur, but we may not feel the energies, or the energies may not get activated until after the fact. We may feel the build up to the energies, and then feel like a build down maybe, or like, so we have this Mars moving into Gemini, and you may be going, well, what the heck does that mean? Well, Mars is an activator, number one. Number two, we had eclipses in Gemini in like June of 2021. So the wave of those eclipses that we had last year, what would that have been, 14 months ago, is now going to be activated by Mars going into Gemini, and it's going to be here for 8 months, 7 months, 8 months, which is a really long time for Mars to be in any one sign. It usually is there for, I don't know, 40, 50 days, something like that, but it's going to be in Gemini for a while. It's going to go retrograde. So it's going to be hanging out here for a while. So, and Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is a little trickster, right? We all know about Mercury retrograde and the effects that it can have on communication and things like that. So now Mars is going to be Mars, which is like the ruler of Aries, right? There's the ruler of Aries. So we're going to have that kind of like Aries, like activation energy in Gemini for a super long time. And during the middle of all this, so it's August 20th, and Mars is going to be in Gemini until March 22nd, I think, of 2023. And during that, we will have eclipses occur in Scorpio season. Scorpio season is fairly loaded. And so this is kind of the kickoff of all of this energy that we're about to experience. And so if you're feeling like something's about to happen, something's about to freaking happen, something is definitely about to happen, there is going to be a lot of energy. And the more that you can stay grounded and sort of trusting and surrendering, I've been talking about that a lot in a lot of these videos, is trusting and surrendering to the divine and the divine plan, because we don't know what's going to happen. So we have Mars entering Gemini. Virgo season starts, I believe, the middle of next week. And so we're going to have a lot of Virgo energy. So that's going to change things up from this Leo creativity, fiery sun energy, which this was a really weird Leo season. It was kind of loaded too. But it's like we thought 2020 was this, really heavily energetic year. We thought 2021 was a heavily, no, 2022, we're finally stepping into sort of the holy shit, it's actually unfolding type energy. And so it was a really weird Leo season. I thought there was a lot of purging going on my end. I don't know if that's what y'all felt. I felt headachy. I was really lethargic a lot of it, like not how I normally am during a fiery season, but it felt like that Aquarius full moon was pretty loaded. And then we're going to have Uranus go retrograde the beginning of next week too. So the Mars moving into Gemini, which occurred around midnight, I think my time, maybe 2 a.m. I don't remember. It was in the middle of the night, but excuse me. But we have, with Mars moving into Gemini, it's almost like this is the beginning. Here we go. Buckle up. This is about to be a ride. And it is. And like, I don't want it to like, and I don't want to like have you be in fear. because that's like the worst place to be, is to be in fear and anxiety that, you know, oh shit, it's about to happen. Be okay, like ground yourself in, really focus on your lower energy centers, those lower chakras, your root chakra, your sacral chakra, your solar plexus chakra. Really ground into those energies. And the artwork that I have for this week that I'm gonna probably be working on while I chat is very lower chakra centered. So lots of red, lots of orange, lots of yellows. And I really encourage you to like focus on these colors. You know, last time I talked about like the pinks and the greens for the heart and stay heart centered, but also ground into those lower chakras. Really use tools and meditations and visualizations that really ground you in. You know, sit in your chair with your feet firmly planted on the ground, maybe even use some like arbor vitae essential oil or vetiver essential oil to really pull yourself in. Like imagine that there's white light pouring out of your feet and out of your root, your sits bones, pulling down into the earth and rooting yourself into the earth, because that's really going to help you to trust and center yourself into these energies, because this is really going to be you know, I said it a lot in 2020, maybe not so much in the last year or so, but in 2020, I said a lot, what's going on out there is going to go on out there. What really matters is what's going on within you. And that's really critical right now, because, you know, the world out there is going to go mad, and people around you are potentially going to go mad, especially if they are not rooted into divine source, universe. I think, you know, being grounded and acknowledging that we're energetic beings and acknowledging our energy centers, and really pulling into that is going to, I don't want to say it's going to be easier, because I think it's going to be a wicked ride no matter how you slice or dice it. Like it's just going to be a funky change of events and turn of events. Uranus is a little disruptor, and it's in Taurus, hanging out with the North Node is like our future. So it's like this future of our planet and this future of humanity. And there's lots of turning point energies going on. We also have a lot of solar activity happening, and the more there's solar activity, the more that your physical body may be symptomatic. And so really paying attention to your body, slowing down when your body is really telling you to slow down. If you're feeling fatigued or headachy, or otherwise, like really tapping in and being okay with resting when you know when your body's saying rest, and not beating yourself up, and not, you know, avoid all of those things. Like this is not the time to doubt yourself, to question your worth, like this is not the time. This is now the time to like step into your power. And believe me, I got people in my corner like, when you're going to step into your wisdom, like I'm like, oh no, I got these people that tell me I'm not smart. Yeah, well, you know, you're smart, you're wise. And so really acknowledge those people that are on your side, that are team you, that are really pulling you up, that are uplifting you, that are reminding you of your brilliance, that are reminding you of who you are as a spiritual being, as an energetic being. And so astrology works in these cycles, right? And so events, transits that occur, like even like a full or a new moon will go so simple as that. You know, we set those intentions during, let's say, a new moon. You may not see like the culmination or the manifestation of those intentions until a time later, right? I will shout out my usual astrologers that I follow, the Leo King on highvibe.tv, and of course Fixed Air Moon here on YouTube. But both were talking about looking back at December of 2020, and what were you kind of thinking about or stewing about at that point? What were you visualizing? There are days and moments where we get kind of these like hits and nudges and, oh shit, what was that thing? And I did go back and look at my journal and was like, oh, like that was that moment. And so that's where journaling can be helpful, or keeping a diary, or even just keeping like a gratitude journal of like what happened in your day to day that kind of, meant something, or, you felt this nudge or you felt this urge, and what the hell did that mean? And you may never not see that. Like here we are, August of 2022, and we're about to see like the activation of a solar eclipse that occurred in June of 2021. So it's, like I said, 14 months later. So there's a lot of things, the way that astrology works is in cycles, and there's multiple layers of multiple cycles going on at one time. We just happen to have an enormous amount of them happening these next 8 months while Mars is hanging out in Gemini, because we will have, obviously, like we'll have new and full moons, we'll have more eclipses, we will have retrogrades, we will have other things, we'll have planets go direct. That'll change things, right? So sometimes you see things like on the day that transit occurs, but usually you don't see kind of like the maybe the result, or the what the hell was that kind of thing until a time later. And so so really grounding in, really like being with yourself and like acknowledging yourself, and know that you're not alone. Really, we are not alone. We are one consciousness, we are one humanity. And really, acknowledging that, like, okay, I don't have to do this by myself. Like, there's people I can reach out to, there's people I can ask questions to, there's people that can hear me when I need to have an emotional moment or whatever. And so definitely like tapping into that, and allowing yourself to be supported. And I know a lot of people who really struggle with being supported and asking for help, and this is not the time to be in that sort of scarcity mode. This is actually a time to be in full on help each other, build community, allow people to be there for you, and allow people to support you. And if people aren't willing to support you, honestly, they're not your people. Like, and it's sad because, I feel like I'm processing a lot of sadness right now, because I'm really seeing like a lot of people who I thought would be there for me, who I thought, and I've obviously known for the last 12 years that there are some people that just don't like me. But I felt like there was some people that would totally support me, would totally be there for me. And that's not what's happening. And I have to be okay. I have to move forward, right? And allow people who do want to support me to support me, and all of the things. And so it's cloudy here today. It's like really dark in here. But so I'm probably going to be working on this drawing for a while, just because it's like root chakra, sacral chakra, and I really want to work on like pulling them together. So what I have is a palette of reds, oranges, yellows, and then I'm pulling them together with goldenrod. And so golden, like pouring the golden light, the golden shimmer, over these lower three chakras to kind of pull them together and tie them together and like root them down and give them power, like, right, like the solar plexus, which is yellow, is like that power center of your body. And so yeah, so I'm probably gonna be working on this for a good while, probably into tomorrow. And I was thinking about, as I was doing this morning, because I started it, as just kind of like a channeled coloring, which I plan on doing more of these. I kind of like doing the channeled coloring. I just bought a new book of like more energy healing type processes and things like that. And so I plan on doing more of these channeled drawings and colorings and things like that. But what I was thinking as I was doing this was like, I'm doing the red, and the red's easy for me to see, and the orange is semi easy for me to see, but I got into the yellows, which is solar plexus, right? This is the power center. And I got into the reds, and or the yellows, and I was like, damn, this looks sloppy. And there was this part of me that went, yeah, because your power is sloppy. And then I was like, no, I don't believe that. I don't really believe my power is sloppy. I don't think my personal authority is sloppy. And I further thought about it and further kind of just tuned into it as I kept coloring in yellow, and I further tuned into that energy. And what I actually heard was, your power is in the chaos. Your power is in being imperfect. Your power is in being the human that you are. And, you know, there's coloring outside the lines, and there's maybe it doesn't look perfect and all of that. And that's where my power is. And so I really invite you, like, if you are somebody who, you know, I struggled with my artwork for a long time because had so many people say like, oh, yours isn't like what the kit looks like, or yours isn't like everybody else's. And the truth of the matter is my artwork never looks like anybody else's. I always color outside the lines. I always like miss something. I don't do my angles correctly or whatever. And the reality is, in the energy of all that is my power. My power is that I fuck it up. I'm very Uranian. I'm very I'm very unique. I'm very individual. I'm a lot of Aquarius. And the more, you know, I learn about my own personal chart, the more I'm like just a lot of Aquarius and very Uranian, and I don't color inside the lines. I don't do everything perfect. I just don't. Doesn't work for me. And so, you know, look at yourself, take a look at the mirror, like do the mirror work, and like realize that like your imperfections are what are your power. Like this is a moment to like really stand in your power, stand in the surrender of what's being opened up for you and all of that. And then there was something else I was going to say. Maybe if I sit here and color for a second. Housekeeping things, not to change the subject in the middle of a channel, but if you have comments, if you have questions about anything I talk about, you can drop me a comment below. And I will do my best to answer your question. I know I talk over a lot of people's heads because a lot of my followers are not, you know, don't follow the astrology nearly as much as I do. I'm cool with that. That's fine. You don't have to. But if you do have questions, you can leave me a comment below and I'll answer them. Also, the best way to learn about astrology is to get a reading. Like, I'm happy to give you a reading. My email is below if you'd like a reading. And then I can look at your chart. And because that's how I know, like, for my own personal chart, like looking at my chart and looking up ahead at what's up with Scorpio season, and knowing that, you know, the Uranus North Node in Taurus, you know, creates a square. I think it's a square. Fixed, yeah, fixed earth to fixed water to fixed air. So because those modalities are the same, fixed earth is Taurus, fixed water is Scorpio, and fixed air is Aquarius. So I got all kinds of squares going on in my chart, and squares mean work. Squares mean work. When planets square one another, they mean work through, mentally process things, and all that. And so, but like, if you're interested in really learning what's individually going on for you, I really recommend getting a reading. I can do astrology, and then I can always refer you to somebody to do human design. I'm not really good at human design. I know mine fairly well. Actually, not really. I know what I've been learning from it. But really learning your own chart, learning how these transits, because there's a lot of them, right? There's so many transits going on right now. Like learning how those transits directly affect you in this moment, in this time, and really like understanding, like, oh, I'm in a lot of square energy, and knowing what I know about squares. Squares are work. Like they are a lot of like emotional intelligence. There are a lot of mental processing, and all of that. And so knowing that the planet's moving into Scorpio, knowing that I have Scorpio, like then there's going to be a lot of conjunctions going on with my Uranus and my moon. And then, you know, knowing what Saturn's doing in Aquarius. I have a lot of Aquarius. So knowing that there's a lot of conjunctions there occurring, like, you know, that means it's a combination of those planetary energies, and that can affect how I respond to things. And so, so there's a lot to learn just by learning your own chart. But if you do have questions, you can feel free to leave a comment below, or you can message me if you connected with me on social media or otherwise. You can message me that way, and we can chat and talk about different energies and how they affect you and whatnot. And yeah. So oils for this stretch of time, for these chakras, specifically for the lower three. Yellow is the solar plexus, so that's your power center. So lemon, anything yellow, wearing yellow, coloring with yellow, having some yellow citrine, or yellow, other types of yellow stones, or things like that. And then sacral is orange. So tap into those orange oil, citrus oil. I always think of citrus oils for these chakras. They do a lot of cleansing. They're also brightening, and things like that. And then the root chakra, think of roots, plants, arborvitae, vetiver, those sorts of things to really root yourself in. doTERRA Balance is a really good one, just because it has a lot of different oils in it that kind of help you center. Red, so I have a red jasper stone. You can also get hematite. That's the one that I've heard other people talk about, is hematite, and which is also the stone of Mars, and so obviously very helpful during this time. What else? So focus on those colors if you're wanting to activate or balance or cleanse any of those three chakras or those energy areas in your body, is to just to really like focus on that part of your body. The root is your root. It's your sits bones. It's your root, the bottoms of your feet. Like I said before, imagine that light pulling you into the roots of the earth. Sacral chakra, focusing on your sacral, focusing on, that's your feet, that's your reproductive organs, that's your emotion center, that's your creative center. So that's why, this is why the coloring all of a sudden is like, apparently I've got some sacral activation going on. And your solar plexus, your belly. So this is one, I will talk about this. I am somebody who suffers from, I deal with a lot of indigestion. And one of the energetic ways that I have worked on my indigestion is focusing on what I cannot digest mentally. If I'm experiencing just tons of indigestion, I will like lay flat in my bed, flat on my back, and I'll put my hands on my belly, and I will literally just speak into, what am I not willing to process and emotionally, mentally? What am I not willing to digest? What do I not want to accept? What do I not want to feel into? Because usually when we have these sort of things, and disclaimer, I'm not a medical professional, I'm an energy worker. But when we have these kinds of like things going on, yes, I use, digestion oils and things like that to support my digestive system. There's also working energetically, like through the symptoms of indigestion. Like, what am I not willing to understand right now? What am I not willing to be with right now? And for me, it's actually a lot of sadness and a lot of, I can't believe it's going this way, and a lot of relationships in my life. And, really having to see people for what's really like up with them. And it's, to me, that's very sad. It's heartbreaking to see people, not, being who I thought they would be, or not being who being supportive to me in a way that I expected. And that's also on me to lessen my expectations. But really work through the energies of your digestive system. Same thing with like period cramps. Like I have Clary Calm, which is an oil from doTERRA that I use during like my cycle to work through. And then I just focus on relaxing my sacral, relaxing that area of my body, and being with it, and just accepting and allowing it to be where it's at. My root chakra, I have a lot of back and hip issues, have had forever. The root chakra is your security center. It's your root. It's secure. And if you feel insecure, if you feel fearful, if you feel disconnected, you may experience discomfort in those areas, in the back, in the low back, and in the hip area. And so, yeah, I've done a lot of physical therapy, and I focus on moving that energy through my body. So what else? So this is kind of the start of this crazy energy and what's going to be going on for the next several months. And so I feel like right now is like the time to work with astrology, get a reading, start learning your own chart, start learning like what this experience is meant to be like for you. And being with that. So, all right. So I hope that was helpful, and I'll show you, hold on. Sure, I have. So, red at the bottom, yellow towards the top, and then I'm pulling them together with golden. And so really, and it's sloppy and it's messy and it's all of the things, and it's totally me and how I roll. And but it's, you know, the colors do their thing, and it doesn't have to be perfect, and there doesn't have to be anything perfect about it. So let's pull some cards, shall we? Oh, let's see. Do I have it up here? If I do, where is it hiding? Thought I had. And of course, now when I'm looking for, oh, here it is. Okay, this is a Sunstone, and it's one of the tower type stones. And this is a power stone. And so if I'm feeling, you know, or sometimes I'm getting ready to do a video and I'm feeling a little not so confident, I'll just roll it between my hands, and get some power from it. And so this is Sunstone. It's really beautiful, one of my favorites that I have. But I really use it to just tap into my own personal power. So there's that. Okay, so let's get some ancient feminine wisdom going on. Let's see. I subconsciously really want to pull the Gaia card today, but we'll see what. Is that me trying to manipulate the deck? Let's see what's going on here. I really think, I think this is an exciting time. But I think if you are trying to control, or if you're trying to plan, you know, or if you're trying to do schedules, or if you're trying to live in pre-2020 times, it's gonna suck. So really I invite you to kind of like live in the moment and be in the moment and surrender and trust that the divine's doing some gnarly things to help humanity, and that, you know, it's all a good thing. There's a lot coming up and out, like shadowy stuff. You know, this Mars and Gemini, you know, Mars is the war energy planet, and so there really could be a lot of fights, and this is gnarly breakup energy. I've been feeling that for a while. And you know, you may be seeing couples around you just splitting, maybe not splitting, and probably should be splitting. So let's see what's up with the ancient feminine wisdom. If y'all follow my Instagram, I've been reading Women Who Run with the Wolves. Holy crap. I've had that book on my reading list for at least 5 years, probably even before that. And it's just been sitting there, and I picked it up and started reading it recently. And I was like, because of how like mythologically it's tied and like divine feminine it is and everything, I'm like, if I'd have read this before now, it probably wouldn't even have resonated with me. Like, I just don't think I would have seen it in the same light. So divine timing, it really is a thing. Let's see. So this is divine or feminine, ancient feminine wisdom. We got Hecate, I think is how you say that. Ooh, the crossroads. Oh, wow. That's powerful, because we are at that. We are at that crossroads. We really are at this moment in time. It's choose to step into your divine power, your divine uniqueness, or not. And I really pray that you step into your divinity, that you step into your divine uniqueness, that you step into your divine wisdom, that you step into your divine feminine, your divine masculine, that you invite those energies into play. Wow, that's a very powerful card for today in this moment. I'm going to pull another from that deck. Yeah, I really want that Gaia card. But you can just assume that even if I don't draw the Gaia card, the Gaia Mother Earth card, that you should really be rooting yourself into Gaia Mother Earth. Just in case the card doesn't actually come out. I think I've only pulled it one time in the entire time I've had this deck. So there's that. And we got Nemesis. This is the retribution. This is when I need a dictionary. I think of Nemesis, I think of like Star Trek Nemesis. Right? Like it was his Nemesis was his meanie. It was like, right? It was like his clone. And it was like his it was Picard's evil twin. There we go. It was his evil. How ironic. We're in Gemini. We've got Mars in Gemini and the evil twin. And so because Gemini is the twins. And so how funny that I thought of that. But anyway, so but maybe, you know, this is like your evil twin. Do you have an evil side? Like I know I do. I know if you piss off my Scorpio, you're probably going to hear about it, right? Like, I mean, I'm generally a nice person until you know, mess with me. And I'm pretty cold-hearted. Like I can be really cold. If you mess with me enough, like I will cold shut you down. Like, nope, not even gonna help you. And even that is not true, because I do have a lot of compassion and I do have a lot of understanding. And so, but yeah, if you do mess with me enough, I probably will cut you off. Anyway, but like think about your like shadow side. Think about your, you know, the shadows that you're hiding from. I am not a fan of people who put up a fake positive, high vibe all the time type of front. I think that's fake. I really think that's fake, because I feel like if you don't allow your pissy side, you don't allow your shadow side, you don't allow your like bitch side, you're hiding it. And we can't process it. We can't release it. We can't like let it through. Like there has to be the good and the bad, right? Like I have to be insecure sometimes and be an emotional roller coaster sometimes in order to be the strong, powerful warrior, right? That I am the divine, unique person that I am, right? It's the emotional roller coaster part of me that makes me that way. So there you go, divine secrets from Sarah today. Okay, where else are we gonna pull from? Let's go from Believe in Your Own Magic, because we all like that deck, right? It's one of my favorites. I did just buy a new tarot deck. I've been studying my tarot and it's coming together. So I may be doing tarot again sometime soon. And if you really want those sun signs back, I can do the sun signs, but let me know in the comments, because honestly, those are a little more work. And I'm not opposed to doing it if indeed you guys really want it. But if you're out there and you're like, I don't want to comment, I don't want to talk to it, it's cool. But if you're like, what the hell, why isn't she doing sun signs? It's because I don't know that you want them. If you want them, let me know. Let me know in the comments. Or drop me a message. Like I said before, if you have questions, comments, if you want something from me, if you want a reading, you know, if you want to work with me, all of those things, you know, leave comments. Let me know what I can do to bring you cool shit, and I will do it. And so there's that. This deck. I love this deck, but my hands are just slightly too small to shuffle it. But it's a good deck. So there will be more art and astrology coming up. Like I said, I just bought a book that's all about like the body and It has different processes and colors, and so I'm super excited to bring y'all some more stuff like that. So let's see what we got in Believe in Your Own Magic, and then I will call it a day. We got the gray card. Ooh, endings are inevitable. I feel like, and this is not the Tower card, but what is the number on here? 37. 3 and 7 is 10. 1. 1. Time to let shit go. Time to be done. Time to be fully freaking done with people, with things, with your past. It's okay. The crap you've been through, it's okay. The shit you've put up with, it's okay. The relationships you've had, it's okay. Be done. Step into your divine self. This is literally like gray it out, blur it out, be done with it. It's done. It's over. It ended. You had the experience, okay, and it sucked, or it was great, or whatever, but let it go. Be done. Step into the divine human that you are. Step into that divine power, that divine uniqueness. We were all put here in this time and space. We were brought here in this time and space to be powerful, to be unique, to be a stand for humanity, for each other. I posted a reel yesterday. It's not about the choices people make. It's not about the choices. It's not about the things. It's how we treat each other amid those choices. I've had a lot of people in my life who really don't like me because of the choices that I've made in my life. But here I am. And they can be who they need to be about the choices that I've made. But think about it like this. If people are judging you for the choices you're making, what are they not willing to see within themselves? You don't have to shove it in their face. You don't have to remind them of that. You don't just say anything, because it's really between them and God. So buckle up, hang on tight, trust the divine, trust source, trust the universe, surrender. Know that if you are taking inspired action every day to the things that align with you, that bring you happiness, that bring you joy, that make you love yourself that much more, that the universe is going to open up all the doors and it's all going to be okay. And it may seem like a shit show at times. It may seem like, what's going on? Because that's going to happen. We've got a lot of transits coming up really quick, and there's going to be a lot of boom, 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 boom energy and a lot of boom, boom, boom changes. And it's okay, because it's taking us to the next level. I'm sending you all the love in the world. Again, please leave feedback below, comments, questions. If you want a reading, my email will be below, where you can DM me if you're following me on social media. Saradivinelyyou on Instagram is where I'm the most active, so you can catch me there. So I appreciate you so much. I'm sending you a ton of love, and I will see you on the next video.